10/25, 2023, 10/25, 2023, episode 19. Episode 19 of our Daily Bread Feed My Sheep. Our Daily Bread Feed My Sheep. The Word of the Living God. Let's see. What saith the Lord? Excuse me. We're in Romans chapter 3. Romans chapter 3. What advantage then hath the Jew, or what profit is there of circumcision? Romans chapter 3, verse 1. What advantage then hath the Jew, or what profit is there of circumcision? Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of God. The Bible in Romans chapter 3, verses 1 and 2 is revealing to us that the Jews who were Hebrews, who was Israelites, were committed the oracles of God. It's like being the oldest child. Being the oldest child and something was given to you first. And if it was given to you, it's your job to tell everybody after you the oracles of God. Verse 3, for what if some did not believe? Shall their belief make the faith of God without effect? Verse 4, God forbid, yea, let God be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in the sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. Verse 5, chapter 3 of Romans. But if our unrighteousness commendeth the righteousness of God, what shall we say? Is God unrighteous, who taketh vengeance? I speak as a man. Verse 6, God forbid, for then how shall God forbid, for then how shall God judge the world? How shall God judge the world? Verse number, page is sticking. Verse number 7, the third chapter of Romans. For if the truth of God hath more abounded through my lie unto his glory, why yet am I also judged as a sinner? Verse 8, and not rather as we be slanderously reported, and some affirm that we say, let us do evil that good may come, whose damnation is just. Verse 9, what then? Are we better than they? No, in no wise. For we have before proved, both Jews and Gentiles, that they are all under sin. As it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. So people who claim to be righteous solely based off the culture they was raised in or the race is a lie, because the Bible lets us know that we was born in sin and shapen in iniquity. From our womb, we came from our mothers. Only one person righteous, that's Jesus, who didn't have a birth father, natural father through birth. It was a virgin birth. Back again in verse 10, Romans chapter 3, as it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. There is none that understandeth, there is none that seeketh after God. They are all gone out of the way, they together become unprofitable. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Their throat is an open sepulchre, with their tongues They have used deceit. The poison of asps is under their lips, whose mouth is full of cursing and bitterness. 15. Their feet are swift to shed blood. Destruction and misery are in their ways, and the way of peace have they not known. I'm not even going to touch the news and the nonsense that's going on. At the end of the day, I've always learned that we're all part of one race, and that's the human race. And for whatever reasons you can come up with for destroying another person is not good enough. It's not justified. And verse 17 in Romans chapter 3, and the way of peace have they not known. There is no fear of God before their eyes. 19. Now we know that what things soever the law saith, it saith to them who are under the law, that every mouth may be stopped, and all the world may become guilty before God. Therefore, by their deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight, for by the law is the knowledge of sin. But now the righteousness of God without the law is manifested, being witnessed by the law and the prophets. Verse 22, Romans chapter 3. Even the righteousness of God, which is by faith of Jesus Christ, unto all and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference. Even the righteousness of God, which is by faith of Jesus Christ, unto all and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference. What do I say all the time? I'll say you either a believer or a non-believer. Nobody cares nothing about you being black or white, green or yellow, from this country, from that country. You are either a believer or a non-believer, for there is no difference. Verse 23, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. People trying to claim sets. Well, I'm this religion, I'm that religion. It don't make no difference. You're going to stand before God. He's going to say, well done, or depart from me. You can't be claiming no sets. I'm Church of God in Christ. I'm Apostolic Assembly of the World. I'm Pentecostal. I'm Presbyterian. I'm Lutheran. It don't matter. It don't matter if you're black, white. You either a believer or a non-believer. How you take communion, when you take communion, how you shout, what music you play, how many times you sit up, sit down, all them works of the flesh and traditions of men don't matter. I worship on this day, I worship on that day, I do this, the Bible says, it makes no difference. For there is no difference, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Verse 24 in chapter 3 of Romans, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus, whom God has sent forth to be a propitiation through faith in his blood, to declare his righteousness for the remission of sins that are past, through the forbearance of God. 26. I declare, I say, at this time, his righteousness, that he might be just and a justifier of him which believeth in Jesus. You're justified by your faith in Jesus Christ only. Where is boasting then? Is it excluded by what law? Of works? Nay, but by the law of faith. Therefore we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law. 29. Is it he, the God of the Jews only? Is he not also the God of the Gentiles? Yes, of the Gentiles also. Seeing it is one God, which shall justify the circumcision by faith and uncircumcision through faith. Finally, 31. Do we then make void the law through faith? God forbid. Yea, we establish the law. Just read into your hearings, Romans chapter 3, 1 through 31. May God bless you. Hear the word of the Lord.